Perl-Raver talked to the stars about working with one of the most respected directors on this.
Oh, Guillermo del Toro. Guillermo del Toro, who's responsible for movies like Pan's Labyrinth.
Right.
This is a man who has made $15 million look like $100 million. He now has $150 million. So what did he do?
Billions?
Oh, no. Well, we'll find out soon. But the visuals in this movie are unbelievable. However, it's also something where he had to put his cast through some real rigors, and his crew. During Comic-Con last year, the cast announced that this film was torture. So when I sat down with the director and the stars, I wanted to know, why is torture important and what made this film so difficult? And here's what they told me.
Come on! Let's do this together!
Why is torture an integral part of getting a good performance?
It isn't, but in this case, all I could do was to make them really understand that they needed to go through the physical fight. Many movies, especially in science fiction, you are in the fight and you have somebody in the ship sitting in a comfortable chair, pushing buttons and saying, let's apply the retro boosters. And they just shake in the chair and they say, ready for discharge. And here I wanted them to be doing that while they're being shaken, literally.
Elbow rocket!
Elbow rocket. Engage.
Now!
He insists on putting as much of the real place that you're working in and the real objects that you're working with. As much as he can build practically, he does.
I think we were, guinea pigs, you know what I'm saying? For like, how much can I torture some actors and see what comes out of them? He really went for it. The film definitely has a very tough theme. It's extraordinary what we're looking at. And so for us as actors going through that was, it was pretty hard.
Well, you were constantly, it looked like, either soaking wet or in a very claustrophobic ectoskeleton suit.
Yeah, whilst doing an elliptical cross-trainer for 14 hours a day for 27 days straight.
In sync with the other actor.
But he was right there with us, He was in a chair, sitting in a chair all day that's not necessarily that comfy of a chair, and he had, 18, 20 cappuccinos a day to drink, so he was putting himself through quite the ordeal, too.
Cappuccinos.
Now, this movie is a visual spectacular, and I'm not just talking about Idris Elba and Charlie Hunnam. What Guillermo del Toro was able to do is phenomenal, and I would like to ask viewers to see if you can find the monster that looks like Guillermo. There's one sort of rotund, delightful monster in the sequence that I think he modeled after himself. The bad part of this movie, however, is the script. Oh, it's so close and yet so far.
That always happens with these types of movies, it feels like.
It's a good idea, but there's so many ideas. The idea being that monsters break through the schism at the center of the the center of the earth, and they come up, and now
they're like the Marianas Trench or something like that?
Something like that. And now two pilots have to drift together where they get to share memories and feelings, and that's how they power these giant robots. And it's very complicated. And at the end, it kind of makes sense, but the whole point of this movie is not, does the script make sense? Is the acting good? Are the monsters great to watch?
Are they?
And they are.
There you go.
And do you respond to these leads? And Charlie Hunnam is a movie star, period. I like him a little better on Sons of Anarchy. I feel like he's more special on a small screen, but he's just phenomenal. And Idris Elba, if you haven't seen Luther and The Wire, make it some weekend viewing, because it's important. Once you're done seeing
Love
Pacific
The Wire.
Rim.
Sasha Perl-Raver, thanks so much.
Thank you, guys.
And to see more of Sasha's movie reviews,